War spreads to Crimea. Ukrainian counteroffensive on the road to Crimea. Reaching the goal is a long and difficult path. However, the right steps taken will help to achieve this goal, even if it's late. Sometimes unexpected events may occur in this process. As long as the desire to achieve the goal is not abandoned, these unexpected events cannot prevent victory. In the Russia-Ukraine war, Ukraine did not give up its steady march towards the goal, even though it sometimes faced unexpected events. We are living through the most violent days of the Ukrainian counteroffensive. Ukrainian troops on the front line are fighting relentlessly against the invading Russian troops, trying to liberate their country from occupation. We can say that the southern branch of the Ukrainian counteroffensive is currently going on quite successfully. In recent days, the areas of influence of the counteroffensive have reached Crimean peninsula, which has been under occupation since 2014. So what are the latest developments in the region? Let's take a look together. You can subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so not to miss detailed map analysis and comprehensive reports on the Russia-Ukraine war prepared daily by the Pioneer team. The Pioneer reports. The Crimean Peninsula is of a crucial geostrategic importance for both Ukraine and Russia. The region has been under Russian occupation since 2014. In violation of international law, Russia has appointed governors, opened administrative centers, and pursued a policy of assimilation in Crimea. The Ukrainian army, on the other hand, has been making great efforts to liberate Crimea since the first days of the occupation. Recent developments show that the counterattack is about to reach Crimea very soon. This is confirmed by the successive explosions in Crimea. In the past few days, a very violent explosion took place in the Dekrazhev district of Crimea. The site of the explosion was a warehouse used by Russia as an ammunition depot. Most of the ammunition was used to meet the needs of Russian troops trying to resist the Ukrainian counterattack in eastern Kherson. After the explosion, a fire broke out in the area, spreading over a large area. With the fire, the warehouse was completely reduced to ashes. However, there is a remarkable detail about these explosions and fire. We mentioned in our previous section that this region was under Russian occupation. According to local sources, Russian citizens who were settled in the region as part of the assimilation policies were transferred to Russia a long time ago. The resettlement of the Russian citizens was a policy to support Russia's claim that it is a natural owner of the region. However, Ukraine's growing proximity to Crimea may indicate that Russia is about to give up this claim. Another striking point is the claim about how the explosions occurred. Many sources come up with the reports with the different claims. The most frequently voiced claim is that Russia is preparing for a full withdrawal from the region. Therefore, it is reported that the ammunition depot was blown up by the Russian soldiers. This is a typical war tactic. Armies that decide to withdraw do not want to leave anything behind that could be useful to their enemies. Therefore, they destroy military bases, warehouses, and all kinds of equipment. In this way, they try to not let their weapons fall into enemies' hands. Another interesting claim is that the ammunition depot was hit by the Ukrainian artillery. As you may recall from our previous report, Ukrainian artillery has been quite successful in recent days. Thanks to the successes of the Ukrainian artillery, the Russian army is suffering heavy losses at many points. Moreover, the increasing capacity of the Ukrainian artillery has brought many Russian-occupied areas within the range. We have witnessed the functionality of this capacity many times, for example in Mariupol and Berdyansk. According to local sources, the ammunition depot was hit by Storm Shadow missiles fired by the Ukrainian army. However, these claims have not yet been confirmed. Ukrainian sources have not made statements on this issue. Likewise, Ukrainian official Hanna Maliar's daily frontline reports have covered the developments on the southern front quite extensively. However, Maliar had not commented on this issue so far. There are many different reasons for Ukraine's increasing influence over the Crimean Peninsula. One of the most important reasons is the gain made by the Ukrainian army in the eastern part of Kherson. As you know, the Ukrainian army has started to establish bases on the eastern bank of the Dnieper River. This was a long-awaited development, and the Russian army's defense line in the region has largely retreated to Crimean Peninsula. The remarkable developments on the Crimean Peninsula are not only related to the warehouses offensive. According to the latest reports, as a result of the attacks by the Ukrainian army, Russia has suffered a major blow through the supply lines at an important point in Crimea. The developments regarding the explosions on the railroad line were announced by the Sergei Aksyonov, the governor appointed by Russia to the region. According to Aksyonov, the railway lines in Kirovsky region of the Crimean peninsula have been severely damaged. The railway lines in this area, located in the east of peninsula, are very important. They connect the supply lines between Crimea and Russia via the Kerch Bridge. Aksyonov also stated that the repair work on the railway lines will take at least 8 hours according to preliminary estimates, and that railway line will be out of use during the period. As you may recall from our previous reports, attacks on railway lines in Crimea have increased in recent days. Recently, Ukrainian partisans group have carried out an attack on the railway line in Fodasia region. As a result of this attack, it was announced that the railway line in the region would be out of use for a long time. No report on the cause of the railway failure in the Kirovsky region has been shared so far. However, looking at the increasing partisans group activities in the region in recent days, we can claim that the breakdown is the partisan group attack. Especially the successes of the Ukrainian counterattack on the southern front are encouraging the partisan groups even more. If the counteroffensive continues at this pace, it is quite possible that we will witness bigger attacks, especially in the Crimean peninsula. There are many reports of the Russian army's inability to resist the Ukrainian counteroffensive. These reports are confirmed by many developments from the front line. Ukraine has recently managed to liberate many points, especially Rivnopil. In addition, according to the latest reports, the positions established by the Ukrainian troops north of Oleshki on the eastern side of Antonivsky bridgehead have severely worn down the Russian army. According to the claims of the Russian sources, Russian troops who wanted to repel Ukraine suffered heavy losses. According to the latest data, Russia's losses are as follows: 226,170 soldiers, 4,036 tanks, 7,834 armored vehicles, 4,083 artillery system, 626 multiple rocket launcher batteries, 386 air defense systems, 314 fighter jets, 308 helicopters, 3,492 drones, 1,261 cruise missiles, 18 warships, 6,772 combat vehicles and fuel tanks, 563 special equipments. What do you think? Do you think the liberation of the Crimean Peninsula is possible? How would the liberation of Crimea affect the course of the war? Do you think the Ukrainian counteroffensive was successful? We care about your opinion. Please share them with us.